Hello, grade 9s. Today we're going to be going on to trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. We'll be working from slides 34 to 38. Now, previously with factorization, you guys have done common factor and dots. We're now moving on to the third method, which is trinomials. So to go back a bit, if we look at an example like this, what you would do here is you would FOIL these brackets out. So you remember you've got your firsts, you've got your outers, your inners, and then your lasts. So let's have a look at our first. X times x gives us x squared. Our outers gives us plus 2x. Our inners plus 4x. And then our last gives us plus 8. If we get like terms together, we get our final answer. So with trinomials, how this works is you'll be given this, basically the answer, and you need to work back to find out what the question was. So let's have a look at example 1. And the question is factorize. So as you can see here, we are given this form. We need to work backwards to get whatever the two brackets were at the end here to give us this final thing here. So what we do, the method is, in the beginning, it's a little bit confusing, but as you go through it, it's not that bad. For now, all I want you to do is just put a 1 and a 1 and a line down like that. With later examples, we will change this 1 and a 1 to be something else. But for now, I want you guys to do it like this. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at our constant, our number at the end without an x, and we are going to list the factors of that constant over here. So the factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to reverse them, and we get 8, 4, 2, and 1. And we can check if we've gone right. 1 times 8 gives us 8, 2 times 4 gives us 8, 4 times 2 gives us 8, and 8 times 1 gives us 8. Now, what I want you guys to know now is if we look at this last sign over here, this will tell us what signs go in our brackets over here. So if it's a positive, we know in our brackets we're going to get a plus and a plus. Or we could get a negative with a negative. And we'll decide which one it is in a second. So what I want you guys to do now is I want you to cross like this. So 1 times 8 gives you 8. 1 times 1 gives you 1. Now, we know in our brackets we're either going to have a plus plus or a minus minus. So I'm going to put here plus plus or minus minus. Now, plus 8 plus 1 gives you plus 9. Minus 8 minus 1 gives you minus 9. And now if we go back to this original here, with this x, we are looking for a plus 9. And we have that plus 9 over here. So we know that it was this one with this one, and then this one with this one. Those will go in the brackets, those will go in the brackets. So let's open up our two brackets. So it's going to be 1x, which is just x, with a 1, 1x, which is just an x, with an 8. So we've decided what goes into the brackets. Now, if we go back to this bit over here, we know we need a plus 8, so I'm going to make that a plus, and we need a plus 1, because we need plus 9 for over there, and we have factorized it. Going on to example 2. The question again is factorize. Okay, so if I look at this sign over here, this is telling me in our two brackets, we're either going to have a plus plus because it's positive, or we're going to have a minus minus. Okay, I'm now going to list the factors of this number. Now remember, you just put 1, 1 for us now. And our factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. I reverse it. 6, 3, 2, and 1. And you can check if you've gone right. 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 1 is 6. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross like this. So 1 times 6 gives us 6. 1 times 1 gives us 1. Now we know we're going to get a plus plus, so I'm going to make this a plus plus, or we're going to get a minus minus. So that'll give us plus 6, that'll give us plus 7, sorry, and that'll give us minus 7. Okay, and what are we looking for? We are looking for minus 5. So none of those work. So what I do now is I go to my next cross. So those didn't work, so I go to this one here. 1 times 3 gives us 3. And then 1 times 2 gives us 2. And I'm going to put down the signs, plus plus, minus minus. Plus 3 plus 2 gives us plus 5. Minus 3 minus 2 gives us minus 5. What are we looking for? We are looking for minus 5. There it is there. So it was this one with that one, and then that one with that one that go into the brackets. So I open up my two brackets, and this is saying 1x with a 2, 1x with a 3. Now I need to decide the signs. Well, it must be minus 3, because remember we want minus 5. So it's minus 3, minus 2. And we have factorized that. Okay, moving on to example 3. Again, the question is saying factorize. So we need to factorize example 3, x squared plus x minus 12. Okay, so if you look at the previous two examples, grade 9s, we had here at the end, we had plus and a plus, and we did this with our brackets. Okay, with this example now we have a minus at the end. Now this is a little bit different. If your sign over here is a negative with the constant, that's telling you in your brackets, your signs are going to be different. Plus minus, or we could have minus plus. Okay. So this method is still the same, where you list the factors of this number. So you remember we go 1 and 1 for now. And then the factors of 12, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I reverse the numbers. 12, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we can check 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 1 is 12. You should work it out like that just to double check that you've gone right. So just like the previous two examples, I'm now going to cross like this. So 1 times 12 gives us 12. 1 times 1 gives us 1. And now we know that our signs are going to be either plus, minus, or minus, plus. So plus 12 minus 1 gives us plus 11. Minus 12 plus 1 gives us minus 11. And what are we trying to get to? This middle one over here. Now there's an invisible 1 over there. This is plus 1x. So we're trying to get to a 1. None of those work. So I will go to the next one. 1 times 6 gives us 6. And 1 times 2 gives us 2. We know our signs are going to be different, so we'll get plus 6 minus 2 minus 6 plus 2. So plus 6 minus 2 gives us plus 4. Minus 6 plus 2 gives us minus 4. Remember, we're trying to get to plus 1. None of those work. So now I'm going to go on to the next one, which is 1 times 4 will give us 4. And then 1 times 3 will give us 3. Our signs are going to be different. So it's plus 4 minus 3 minus 4 plus 3. So plus 4 minus 3 gives us plus 1. Minus 4 plus 3 gives us minus 1. We're trying to get to plus 1. There it is there. So it was plus 4 minus 3 that gave it to us. So the ones that are going to go into the same brackets, it's going to be this one with this one. And then it's going to be this one with that one. We open up our two brackets. Now in this bracket, it's going to be a 1x with a 3. And then a 1x with a 4. Now we need to decide what our signs are going to be. Now you remember we wanted this plus 1 over here. That's the one that we wanted. So we know it must be a plus 4 and a minus 3. And we have factorized that trinomial over there. Grade 9s, I would like you to do exercise 18.9. Numbers 1 to 15, and then exercise 18.10, numbers 1 to 16, please. Thank you.